actually, I think they said about, I think about 112 bitcoins were sent to those accounts, and I think it was worth about $110,000 or so
Imagine that.
before they were able to shut it down. And it's if you have to, if you think about what it means for Bitcoin, its reputation as something that is being used for illegal items, it doesn't help
Mm-mm.
it's rep. We have Fisai on the line with us. Okay, yes, yes, great. We
Yes.
got Fisai. Fisai, I wanted to ask you what for Lagos. We have Fisai Durajaya on the line with us. Well, what's your take on well, I guess this massive hack that happened on Twitter and what it means for I guess Bitcoin's reputation?
Okay, good morning, Rotus. Good morning, everybody. For me, I think that first about the app, right? It's one of those things that people don't take seriously, especially when it comes to things around their password. People use the same passwords for almost everything, for their Gmail, for their PIN, for their phones, for all the things they do, right? So I think people need to take a lot of precautions around how they operate on the internet, how they think about their own personal safety first about the internet, right? That's number one. And number two is the fact that yes, even for Twitter as a company, their role or their work of the security of securing their platform a lot better becomes very important to their future. So it's like someone hired as a security guard in a gated estate. If I don't think that there'll be any breach until a breach happens,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
right? So people don't understand the value of security or securing something until a breach happens, right? And Twitter has always been direct attack to some of these kind of breaches over the years, right?
Mm.
But this particular one is particularly worrying because most of the attacks, most of the act happen on verified Twitter accounts, right? So of Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kardashian, I think Kanye West
Yeah.
was affected as well,
Yes.
right? So it becomes apparent that yes, this is a deliberate and targeted attack on a few people because they want the message they are sending to be a lot more distributed. On the effect on Bitcoin, uh, I think that Bitcoin, Bitcoin doesn't necessarily have great reputation with so many people
Yes.
because people don't still understand it, right?
Okay.
Even the most educated will still struggle to find you know what the value or the relevance of this technology or of this platform would be,
Mm.
right? However, when we've seen that a lot of times when people are trying to hide or hide their illicit activities to to ensure that they're not caught, they typically use Bitcoin as a medium of exchange.
Yeah.
We've seen fraudsters use that. So you take dollars to buy Bitcoin, and from Bitcoin you're able to move it secretly without anybody noticing you, right? And able to convert to dollars in a different country, and
Yeah.
that's essentially money laundering, right? So when an attack like this is linked to a digital currency, that people are still trying to to get us to have faith in, it becomes worrying to know that yes, this kind of thing can be linked to the Bitcoin. So I think it's going to take some slight toll,
Mm.
slight toll on the reputation of the currency or of the cryptocurrency, as the case might be. But to a large extent, I think nothing significant is going to happen. Even to that itself faced some decline in the share price over the period,
3%.
but
Yeah.
on a long term view, I don't see anything to really worry about.
Mm, okay, okay, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, I also want to ask you about a startup in Ghana. I think it's called Oniocha, which is it's an online bookstore that allows users to buy, sell, request, and swap books all on one digital marketplace. Do you think that can if I want, because Fisayo, of course, Fisayo funds startups at his where he earns his living. Would you, if one was to approach you with that kind of online marketplace for books, would you bite at it?
Well, do you want me to give my opinion on national
Yes.
radio?
Yeah.
Tell us now. It sounds like a good idea now because other platforms it's just a matter of buying the books,
And
but this one,
it sounds Igbo. It sounds like
yeah, I know.
Onyocha.
Oniocha, yeah, I know. It's a
Yeah,
Ghanaian
yeah. The name
startup.
sounds evil.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
Anyways, so what do I think? I think for I mean, this is my own personal opinion, though. I think for me, I've always liked more B2B businesses than B2C.
Okay.
I think B2Cs are very hard to scale, right? So if general e-commerce didn't scale, I don't think specific e-commerce platforms like this uh, will do significantly better
Mm,
than what Jumia or Konga has done,
okay.
right? Because Jumia, Konga, all of those kind of people even sell daily essentials that people require on a daily basis, right? I
Mm,
mean, books. I mean, if you don't need to read a book, you don't need to buy it. So it's just on a need basis. From that perspective only, I think that the target that the market that you're able to address is significantly smaller. And then of course, because the market is significantly smaller, and then the value of each book, how much the value of each book?
mm,
10,000 naira, 5,000 naira. How many 10,000 naira books you have to sell to make $1 million? I mean, that's a lot of books, right?
right.
So I always struggle with business models that number one doesn't have high order values.
Mm,
I
okay.
mean, if I'm selling cars, for instance, one car is over $1 million naira sometimes, right?
Right. Right.
So that allows me to make so much in less transactions.
Mm,
But imagine for them to make $1 million, right? I mean, they have to sell 450,000 books, right?
right.
At 10,000 naira each.
Right.
Ah.
So you have to deliver 450,000 books to 450,000 different locations.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
That's a lot of work.
if I have a star on Audible, I can order a book.
Mm. Well, see, that's the competition there. So there's other options out there.
Amazon.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Tickets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed. Thank you for that, Fisao. What's Sheon saying here? He's saying
Sharon said
yeah.
regarding the reputation of Bitcoin, people use various mediums to carry out different goods and bad actions. Now, it doesn't necessarily reflect on them. Terrorists use dollars to buy arms. I don't see the dollars getting a bad rap for that.
I've keep hearing that argument, Fisayo, but dollars can be traced. I think it's the anonymity of Bitcoin that Sheon. Thank you for your message. It's the anonymity of Bitcoin that adds to the reputation. Is it not?
I mean, like I said, it's a problem that people have views about without even understanding it yet, right?
Mm.
If you're now being linked to illicit activities, it makes it a lot more complex.
Yeah.
To drive acceptance for it. I mean, for the USD, people have come to understand and accept the currency. But people have also come to understand that yes, there are fraudsters in the world,
Yes.
right? But if you're saying that there's this cryptocurrency, there's a future of payment, there's a future of and that's probably going to disrupt in that sense fiat currencies. If you're not buying Bitcoin today, the children ask you are still trying to convert me to a user of Bitcoin,
Right.
and then the biggest things I've seen Bitcoin being used for is for fraud,
For
is
fraud and
for
scams.
money
Yeah.
laundering,
Yeah.
is for scams. Come on.
Mm.
You have to do a lot. You have to do a lot more
Zero
work
regulation.
to get me to use it.
Right. Thank you very much.
And then I know that Bitcoin is not regulated.
Uh-huh.
So the point of Bitcoin is the fact that it's not being regulated by anybody.
Exactly.
Right? It just puts you in a more difficult position. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yes. Goke says from the UK, he says, the people who responded to the Bitcoin hack, unfortunately, people are regarded as greedy. Immediately I saw it, I suspected foul play. And this one from Andy.
Yeah.
It says, good morning, Smooth FM. The world is still bedeviled with wire frauds that affects the banking sector. Why do we believe cryptocurrency will be safe in the first place? My take is, if the banks are not into crypto, I'm not touching it.
So you see, Andy wants to see some kind of he's leaning towards regulation.
Exactly. Some kind of validation.
Yes, validation.
Which is why the
exactly.
governments have been fighting it.
Right, exactly.
And Tokwe from Lagos says Bitcoin is not the problem. When robbers go to rob a bank, nobody blames the dollar.
Tokwe is with Sheon.
Sheon,
It is. Dollars are regulated by central banks, so the currencies are regulated. Oh goodness. Val, how long do you have? A minute?
1 minute.
1 minute. Fisaya, 1 minute, please. Every time I see a Gokada bike, I almost break down into tears. In a minute, how do you take the unfortunate death of the Fahim?
I mean, I think nobody deserves to be treated that way. Nobody deserves to be killed that way, and I think that's rather unfortunate. For a young man like him, to be taken away in this time like that. I think it's terrible. It affects all of us from within the tech ecosystem, and we hope that the law enforcement agents, get to the bottom of this, and then people behind this are brought to book. We don't want this to be inconclusive. We want to be able to say, yes, this is the person that is responsible for this. And then brought to justice. Basically, I don't think this deserves to just go like that.
Final question, real quick. Yes, so you think Gokada can survive going forward? Exactly. You think there's a success? Well, real quick, because we're out of time.
Yes, I mean, it's a business. It has life of its own. So I believe that there should be some succession planning. There should be some deputy. There should be some CFO. There should be some CEO that's able to step in and continue to take the business as it is.
Okay.
I mean, they might struggle because a lot of time the business typically takes the life of its founders.
Yeah.
So without the founder there, it might be a lot more difficult. Especially because the business is just a couple of years old, right? So it's not like they've institutionalized already, right? So it might be a struggle, but I think that the challenge. I mean, if I was working at Gokada, for instance, it's going to be a challenge for me to ensure that this business doesn't go away just like that because the father is no longer around.
All right.
So I believe that the people that work within the organization are stepping up to the challenge to ensure that the legacy continues.
Fisayo, thank you so much. You guys can follow him at Aremo Fisayo on Twitter. Everybody that send messages, thank you so much for your messages. Everybody stay safe. And Val, thanks a lot. I guess I'll see you guys on Monday. You guys take it easy.
It's the weekend. 6:46 is the time. Remember, 7:30 will be time for us to get into Freshly Pressed 981 detailed analysis of our newspaper stories, and go to youtube.com/Smooth91 FM Lagos to catch the part of Business Express you might have missed.
Fisayo, thanks a lot, man. Oh, okay. So is this who's
that's extra headphones for the studio.
Okay, great.
The studio guest.
Cool. Very snazzy. I hope we maintain.
Yep.
Guys, thanks.
All right, man. Safe, bro.
Possible shadow of doubt. It's possible to shop from over 100 international stores on Quick Teller Global Mall.